Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, everyone. Welcome to the betting corner. The episode today is looking at Sassuolo versus Milan. Now, that was the first time I tested that intro. It's a very, let's say, holy. Why not use that one again? I should be joined soon by my co host. He's just finishing up something. But I thought that I would share with you some updates in the meantime. So the good news is that we're up to £51.75 in our totals. This is because last week Nathan picked the correct outcome for Lecce versus Milan, where he picked on Milan to score in the first half and to win the game to double your money. And also, both he and I bet on Leao to score a goal. So, thank goodness for no one pointing out Theo Hernandez's initial move where he seemed to knock the guy over. But who cares? We got away with it. We got the goal. So, just to remind you, our chosen charities are St. Jude Children's Research Hospital and Home Start. Right, let's move on to the game. 2 p.m. my time tomorrow. This is UK time. We're going to have Sassuolo versus Milan. So it is an away game. In the last 5 years, Sassuolo have had 7 wins. Milan have had 11 wins, and we've got 3 draws between us. If we look at the league table, Milan sit on 68 points, goal difference of 31. Sassuolo sit very firmly in the relegation zone, 25 points. 31 games played, I should say. Sorry, 31 games played. The big thing about this is that if you look at the bottom part of the league, from Empoli downwards, it's all going to be a much of a muchness as to who gets knocked out. So it should be interesting the end of the season for these teams. But it has important repercussions for us as well, because it means that we are going to be facing an opponent that is going to be trying very, very hard to win the game, whilst we don't necessarily have that. If you look, we've got a 6 point gap to third place Juventus and a 10 point gap to Bologna. So Nathan is now joining me. Hello, Nathan.
How's it going?
They've just started, sir. So I'm literally just saying that Sassuolo are 19th on 25 points. We're on 68 points. And I was just pointing out that we're going to be facing an opponent that is fighting for their lives. And it's something to consider in the bet, especially since if you look from Empoli downwards, it's really much of a muchness regarding who is going to be going down. For us, on the other hand, we've got a 6 point gap to third place and a 10 point gap to fourth place. So there's a good chance that let's just say we might not take this game at 100%. And this has to be factored in. The other thing, Nathan, I was pointing out is that actually over the last 5 years, we've got the most wins. We've won 52% of fixtures between us and them. So let's go to the next slide. So as I said, Sassuolo 19th position, Milan second. We've won 21 games. They've only won 6 in the whole season. That's incredible for Sassuolo. They've drawn 7. We've drawn 5. They have lost 18 and we have lost 5. So we've scored 60 goals. They have only scored 36. And we've conceded 34 goals, which is pretty bad, but they've conceded 59 goals. So it's kind of incredible the goals per game rate that they are conceding. I mean, if you in simple maths, it's about 2 goals per game, which is a bit insane if you look at it that way. Form wise in Serie A, this is Serie A only, Nathan. Let's not count the Europa League. We are on 5 straight wins, so we broke that hoodoo with Pioli of going only 4 games. We've now done 5 straight wins. They, on the other hand, kind of to form, they have drawn the last 2, then the other loss, a win and a loss. It's really not good. So if we look at some head-to-head stats, we stretch it back to the last 7 years and we look at some results. Nathan, you'll see that on the 30th of December, we beat Sassuolo 1-0. 29th of January 2023, we uh, lost to them 5-2. If you remember, that was that month that we had a disastrous month where we conceded so many goals. But overall, we've had, I'd say, the best of it, but just. Important thing to say, Nathan, is that Berardi will not be playing. Statistically, the most common result of a match between Sassuolo and Milan is 2-1 when they're playing at home. So 2-1 to us. So 5 matches have ended with this result. During the last 10 meetings of Sassuolo playing at home, Sassuolo Calcio have won 3 times. There have been 1 draw, whilst Milan have won 6 times. The goal difference is 19-12 in favor of Milan. So this is the big news from today, which is reported on the Gazzetta. If this is correct, we're going for what I called Milan 2.0. He's created space for Florenzi, Kier, Terracciano, Musa, Chukwueze, Okafor, and Jovic. They're all coming into the squad, into the starting lineup. This is what the Italian media is presenting. So if we look at the lineup as presented in the Gazzetta, I'm going to read it for those listening on without being able to see the images. Sassuolo have a 4-2-3-1, a formation that we are very familiar with. In goal, they have Consigli, left back Doig, centre back Ferrari, the other centre back Ehrlich, right back Toljan. In the 2 holding midfielders, they got Henrique and Racic. And then they got the 3 in front, Loriente, Thorsved, and De Frel, good player. And as a striker, they've got Pinamonti. For us, the Gazzetta is reporting that we are going to go with a 4-1-4-1, but you can easily see this forming into 4-2-3-1 as well. But anyway, I'll read you the lineup. Magnan in goal, left back Terracciano, centre back Tomori, centre back Kier, right back Florenzi, right wing Chukwueze, Musa midfield, Reinders Okafor, holding midfielder of Adli, and as a striker, Jovic. So keep this in mind, Nathan, because these are significant changes, but potentially you can see them as opportunities because the odds on these players will be pretty long. So top goal scorers is a usual table. Their top goal scorer is Pinamonti, who will be playing. He has 9 goals and 1 assist, so it's pretty decent scoring record. They then had Berardi. As you can see, he's only played 17 games and he had scored 9 and assisted 3. Really, really impressive. Unfortunately, he picked up, I think, quite a serious injury and he's been out for a long time. Their next top goal scorer is Christian Thorsved, who has scored 5 in 27 games. On our side, Giroud, who's not playing, has scored 13 goals. Pulisic, who's not playing, has scored 10 goals. Rafael Leao, who's not playing, has scored 6 goals. And Ruben Loftus-Cheek, who's not playing, has scored 6 goals. So none of our top scorers, Nathan, are playing. Some interesting facts found about the game. AC Milan and Sassuolo are the 2 teams that have conceded the most goals from outside of the area in Serie A. Across the big 5 European leagues, only Burnley, Sheffield United, and Darmstadt have conceded more from outside the box, believe it or not. AC Milan are the team that have registered the highest number of shots on target in 2024 in Serie A with 80. And in this period, only Lazio, Monza, Empoli, and Salernitana have had fewer than Sassuolo. So we've got the most shots on target. Sassuolo are one of the fewest in the league. So then we come to our betting page, Nathan. Sassuolo, Milan are heavy favorites, ranked as 1.8 to 1. So that would be, you place $100, you would win $80 back. Sassuolo are 4.33, so 4.3 times your initial bet, and draw 3.8. I pulled out the table, of course, contained players that were not playing, are not going to be starting tomorrow. So I've removed all of them and left the ones that are playing. So Jovic, as a first goal scorer, is 7 to 1. Anytime is 3.1. Okafor, the same. Pinamonti, the top goal scorer for Sassuolo, is 8.5 to 1. First goal scorer, 3.6 anytime. Thorsved, 13 to 1, or 5.5 anytime. And Chucky, 9.5 to 1, anytime, 4.0. Now, the bookmakers think that both teams will score. So that's only 1.66 to 1. Again, place $100, you win 66. However, if you go on the no on both teams to score, we've got a 2.1. Again, I'm going to give you the special, which is results and both teams to score. Milan, yes, so Milan to win and both teams to score is 3.4. Milan to win, but both teams not to score is 3.4. Sassuolo to win and both teams to score is 7.5. Sassuolo to win with a clean sheet is 9 to 1. So Nathan, what do you see in this and that you want to have a look at? I think we have to be very careful this week because it seems to me like Milan have decided after losing to Roma, we need to rest players, whilst Sassuolo are going to go for everything because they need to.
Yeah. We also got to factor in mindset as well too. Like we just lost to Roma, and then also Sassuolo. They got their position is definitely going to be playing on their mind for sure too. This
Yep.
can create a lot of mistakes because they have to push so hard. Mm, we will win.
Okay, that's nice.
I definitely think Okafor will score.
Okay, Okafor to score. So you want to put Okafor anytime?
Yeah.
How much would you like on that? Oh, we're up to £51 something, if I remember, Nathan.
Nice.
Yeah.
I guess 50 pence.
50p on Okafor, very good. Right. I mean, I like your bet. I think I'm gonna go. You know why? I'm gonna go Pinamonte to score at any time, just because he's got quite a decent scoring record. And on that pitch, actually playing, he is the highest goal scorer. So
My
3
problem is without Berardi, they lose a lot of their offensive factor.
Yeah.
Mm,
Do you
this
think
could be.
then that Milan will win, but that Sassuolo will not score? Is that your instinct, or is that too risky?
I don't even think it's risky to be honest.
Mm,
I mean, Kjaer and Tamori are pretty solid. We know
mm,
Florenzi's pretty solid. Terracciano might be the weak link, but the other three can most certainly compensate for that. And because we have Chukwueze and Okafor, I think those guys help out a little bit more on defense compared to the tandem of Leao and Pulisic as a whole.
mm-hmm.
So there'll be probably a bit more cover on defense.
So
I can see
sounds
like
to
a two
me,
to zero.
right? Sounds to me like you want to put Milan to win and both teams not to score.
Yeah.
So that would be 3.4 to 1, Nathan. So Milan, no. How much would you like on that, Nathan?
We can put a pound.
Yeah, a pound on that. So I've also, if you want to ask any other questions, I've got the betting website in front of me, so I can scan them at the same time.
Okay.
Do you want to try the correct score guessing? 2-0 is 9.5 to 1. It's a risky one though.
Yeah, because Sassuolo's in such horrible form. Like this is really a tricky game.
Yeah. So the bet you put on last week, which worked really nicely, which was half-time, full-time, and you put Milan. This week, if you do Milan, the odds are 2.87 to 1.
Because we don't have the normal attackers,
Mm,
I'm not entirely sure about us getting a goal in the first half.
yeah. See if we can find anything anything like. I think this is a really dangerous game. I really do, because Pioli has come out and told everyone that he's going for basically this rotation squad. That I wouldn't have minded so much as long as if it had more youth players in, but it was never going to happen,
Yeah,
was it? Um,
yeah. Pioli's Simic and Bartasagi and Zeroli are never going to see the time of day with Pioli.
yeah, no, they're not. So that's a bit disappointing because it looks like the Terracciano is the only one that is putting in as new. Really.
He can even be considered as Primavera.
Mm. So, trying to look for yellow cards, dude. Both teams to receive a card. Ah, that's rubbish. Let's try and find something else. Yellow cards. That's funny. Olivier Giroud. Nope. This is hilarious, man. This stuff. I don't know. I'm really, really nervous about this game. I think the amount of rotation. I'm not sure how well these guys will play together. But Sassuolo are in terrible form. But that doesn't mean much, does it, Nathan? We've seen ourselves. Literally, we've got such a big gap that I don't know. I just kind of wonder whether our players are going to turn up and not really care. That's all down to Pioli, whether he can get them fired up for it. To kind of say, prove yourself to me.
Yeah, I think instead of betting on so many things for this one game, I think I would just bet on Milan to win
Yeah.
and then uh bet on a few other games that are playing and
Okay,
see
so I see. So Milan to win.
just because it's so because of the rotations and things like that, like you can't really in
No.
the positioning that Sassuolo is in, it's really difficult to gauge how this is gonna go.
Yeah. Um, I've just brought up players to be booked, just out of interest. Mm, players to be booked. Tomorrow is 3.4. I don't see that. Kier is 3.4.
If anyone's
Mm,
gonna get booked, it probably will be Terracciano, just because he's gonna be doing the most to
let's see
impress
if I can
Pioli.
find. Let's see if I can find Terracciano, because this might be the one where we might get a bit of a joy, because the bookmakers. Terracciano is 4.75 to 1. Ooh. You know what? That might be worth 50p, I think.
Yeah,
Terracciano
I would.
50p.
Yeah, I would put that. You can put that for me too.
Yeah. Terracciano 50p yellow card. In fact, since I've got you here, I'm going to put it on now. Um, move this thing out of the way. Set stake. £1 between us. All right. So we're going to get £4.75 back if we win. The other thing I'm going to place for you is Okafor to score anytime. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okafor to score anytime is 3.1. I'll put 50p on that. 0.5. That's placed. So I'll tick on that. Milan, no. So I said Milan to win. What did I say here? Popular. So Milan to win and both teams not to score. That's what you chose, isn't it?
yeah.
Milan, no. Milan, no. You wanted 50p on that. 50p on that. To return that. So that's done. And then my last bet. Oh no, you wanted £1 on that. So I'll put another 50p on that. Okay. And then just for me, as a bit of a spanner in the works, is Pinamonte to score. So I will choose Pinamonte to score, which is now 3.621. Add to bet and slip 0.5. All right, these bets are placed, Nathan. I think you're right. I think we should lay off trying to make any more bets on this game. I think it's dangerous. So let's see what other games are being played at the moment so that we can. Italy. So let's see. Soccer. So we're going to go to Serie A. Right. So we've got Napoli Frosinone, Nathan. If you want to for place a parlay, okay? I'll tell you the games tomorrow. Napoli Frosinone is one. Sassuolo Milan, Udinese Roma, Inter Cagliari. Those are the games tomorrow. Then there are games on Monday, which are Fiorentina Genoa and Atalanta Verona. So what do you reckon? Would you place a
If
parlay
I
in any
were
of
to,
them?
yeah, Inter's gonna win.
Inter, yeah, 1 point.
Yeah,
Oh, their odds are terrible, but okay, let's place a parlay.
yeah,
So
that's why the parlay is gonna be important here. Inter
okay,
for sure.
yeah. Then you
Um,
got Napoli Frosinone, Napoli at home.
I'm actually gonna stay away from the rest of these games, and I
Oh,
would actually go with. Uh, I would definitely go with Leverkusen to beat Bremen.
hang on. Let me go to German football. Germany. Leverkusen to beat Bremen. So,
And remember, if Leverkusen wins this game, they win the league.
seriously?
Yeah,
Wow. So Leverkusen to beat Bremen. Yes, Leverkusen is selected. Okay.
I'm very tempted with this Freiburg game versus Darmstadt. I'm
Uh,
tempted.
Eintracht. Oh, sorry, Freiburg. Ah, yes. So you Freiburg away again, Darmstadt. Yeah.
It's tempting. Um, and then there's also Liverpool versus Crystal Palace. I thought about Arsenal versus Aston Villa, but that's going to be a
Ooh.
closer game.
Well, I mean, Arsenal are kind of strange. They sometimes blow people away. Let me have a look at Premier League. So Liverpool against Crystal Palace is 1.22. That's terrible. Arsenal Villa is 1.3. Wow. It's such heavy, Villa 10-1, Nathan. Wow.
Yeah, that's why in games like these, you got to have multiple games on there
Yeah, you
just to,
absolutely have to. Yeah. To try and make the odds okay. I mean, Inter
yeah.
Milan and Bayer Leverkusen have only gone up to 1.41. So it's only $41 if you place 100. You need more
Mm,
games on this parlay. You need more. Otherwise, it just won't be worth it.
yeah, none of this is worth it then.
Do you want to try and put Liverpool? Let's see what happens if you put Liverpool. It goes to 1.73 with Liverpool. And if we add Arsenal, it goes to 2.25. So that, just over doubles your money. Inter,
See,
Bayer Leverkusen, Liverpool, and Arsenal.
and this is why I keep saying it's so interesting between ours because even though these odds are terrible on the
Yeah,
sites that I normally use,
yeah.
I can manipulate it in ways that the odds will completely switch over. So like
Mm,
when I say I can put $100 on three teams and I can come out with 600, it's because of the way they allow us to do bets.
mm,
So like for instance, Milan is obviously favored to win,
yep.
but if it's if and let's say the money line or yeah the out let's say the outright win is is not very good. However, if the expected score line is let's say 1.5,
Oh,
those odds are usually decent. So if you put three teams and they cover what they're supposed to win by, you will
mhm.
win a lot.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Possibly you can do it, Nathan, but as you know, as I said, with match betting, I literally bet on results. I don't bet on any other sub unit of
Right.
that. Um, so I'm sure there are in here somewhere, but it would need some digging to find. So to give you an idea, if you combine those four matches together, so it's a fourfold what we call accumulator or parlay. You get you would get $225. Is it worth
Mhm.
at all? I'll leave it to you if you want to put a pound or something on it. But yeah,
Okay,
you're right.
so
Yeah,
okay, I have I want to say this is a good picture here. So yeah, I'm gonna take a screenshot of something. I'm gonna put it in the group chat just so you can see. I don't know if you're able to like um
yeah. I'm gonna have a look.
Um, I guess I'll just send it to you individually.
Yeah, sure. Oh, got it, Nathan. So what have you got here? Japan, Brazil, Dallas Cowboys, Argentina, Hungary, Ukraine.
So what we're looking at, we'll start at the bottom here. So
Yeah.
in this Ukraine game, I can't remember who they're playing, but the odds for them to win were minus 420. So in
Okay.
order for you to even get $100, you have to put in 420.
Okay.
So you can
Right.
see the odds are horrible for Hungary. They're horrible for Argentina.
Yeah.
But now you see these next three. Dallas Cowboys at minus 1.5 is the minus 1.5 is the expected amount that they're supposed to win. So if
Mm.
this is the tricky part, if they win by 1 point, you don't get it. You lose the bet.
Oh,
If
okay.
they win by 2 points, they cover.
Yeah. Yeah. I
So
understand. Yeah. 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 Yeah.
and you see the odds are really good at minus 100 one, I mean 110, sorry.
Yeah.
Same thing for Brazil. I can't remember who Brazil was playing. All they need to do was just win the game. At point 0.5 means
Yeah.
you just
One
need to
goal.
win the
Yeah.
game.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then Japan, this is where things get interesting. That minus 1, if Japan wins 1-0, you get half the bet.
Oh.
Yeah,
Oh. I thought
and
you'd
if
get
they win
nothing.
by yeah, if you win by yeah, that's why whenever you see a half, you
Mm.
really need to be certain that those teams will cover over the half amount. So like
Mm.
that Dallas Cowboys 1.5, you need to be certain that they're going to win by more than that.
Mm.
So
Yeah.
Japan at minus 1, you need to be certain that they're going to win at 2. So that way you
Yeah.
get the full amount. So
Yeah.
you can see here with I picked 3 games, Argentina, Hungary, and Ukraine.
Yeah.
Those were guaranteed wins, safe bets. Like the odds of them not winning were super low.
Hmm.
And then I picked 3 games that I had to take a slight risk on. And you can see I put in $50 and I could win 630 from that.
Yeah.
So it's just a little bit trickier. It's a little bit trickier, but this will test your this will test your knowledge on what you
Mm.
know and things like this.
Yeah. I mean, so it's kind of like I call that handicap betting. I don't know if you call it the same thing in America, but that's basically you're giving a team a particular handicap, so you're starting at minus one goal, basically.
That's
Um,
no, see, that's the expected result. So the bookmakers are saying, so for Japan, they
mhm,
have a 1. The
mhm.
bookmakers are expecting Japan to win by more than that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
No,
So like I'm not selecting this. The bookmakers have already predetermined what they think it's going to be.
you must have something funny in America then, where they
Now
give
you
you that.
can you can handicap those scores. So let's say I'm not sure Japan is going to win by 2. So I can lower that minus 1 to a point 0.5. So all they need to do is win the game, but I
Mhm.
won't get as much money.
Mm, I gotcha. I
But
gotcha.
this is just an easier way. So like with how we were looking at Milan, at Leverkusen, like those odds are not good. However, if the expected result comes out the way that the bookmakers are thinking, you're going to get a lot of money from that.
Mm. Yeah, because you clearly, I mean, your odds are clearly multiplied massively, but we don't have that, unfortunately. Or at least it would need quite a bit of time to put that and to check every window to see where that result is, because I actually don't know where the expected result might be.
Right, and
I
that's why I was asking you. I think when we first started doing this, if they had like a prediction of what they thought was going to happen.
No, all there is the lowest odds, right, is the one that they think is the most likely result, but they do not give you these amazing odds that you just showed me for, you know, $50 that could turn to 650 comes through. No, 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 no. The returns are much smaller in that sense, Nathan.
Feel right. And so last week, if we would have put the bets that we did
Hmm.
in the way that I do my bets, we would have came out with a ridiculous amount. Like it would have been truly ridiculous.
Yeah, 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 probably. Uh, I'll tell you what, maybe next year we'll do it through your betting, through your country as opposed to from my country. Um, I think today the bets are pretty small, but it is what it is. I think,
Small, but because of the risk and
yeah,
the
exactly,
unknowing,
exactly. I think
so
it's the
it's
wise
fine.
thing to do. I think it's
Yeah.
absolutely the wise. So I'm going to drop this fourfold DACA because it's literally only put 2.25, unless you want to put some money on it. That is
Uh,
Inter, Bayern, Leverkusen, Liverpool, and Arsenal.
yeah. I mean, you can.
Do you want to put something on it still?
Yeah, we'll just play it safe and go with 50
Okay,
pence.
okay. I'm placing it now. All right, done, sir. Right, so we still have £48, 25 pence in the account. Done no damage whatsoever, and that means that we can, we'll move on to a match that is more competitive next time. I think possibly, Nathan, the next one could be quite interesting. Is if we do one of these before the Roma return game, that could be a good one. The odds will be
Yeah.
quite interesting there. I think for this game, because he's resting players, there's a risk, and I don't fancy that risk. I just think the Sassuolo odds are not that great either. Um, so I think this is a wise move to have done what both you and I have done, which is stay small this week. If we take losses, they're going to be small losses. If we take wins, small wins, but we keep the majority of what we've won. So I think that's the wise move. And I think in the long term, what we could do is investigate these, what I'm going to call more exotic ways of betting that you've just shown me, which I've never ever seen before, Nathan.
And it
Um,
gets better. It actually gets better. So you know that Japan -1 that you see.
yeah.
Let's say you know for sure that there's no way Japan is going to win this by that margin, but you still want them to actually win. You can
Mm.
you can bet on the team losing to not lose by that margin. So
Ah, okay.
let's say Brazil was playing Japan and
Mhm,
Brazil was the expected result was, let's say, 2.5, which is risky because Brazil has to win by 3. You're
mhm,
thinking in your mind, there's no way Brazil's going to beat Japan by 3. So
mhm.
what you can do is you can select Japan and it's going to show a plus 2.5. So Japan can lose that game 1 or even 2-0, but as long as they
Mm.
don't lose 3-0,
You
you're
take your
you're
money.
gonna win all of your money still.
I've got a feeling, Nathan, that some of this is possible, but again, would require quite a bit of preparation because it's not something that they offer you face up front, Face front,
Right,
the most immediate thing you see with my screen is literally home win, draw, or away win. And
right,
what people generally do is they have like a big coupon, like an A4 sheet of paper, and all the matches from all the top leagues, and people just tick home, draw, away, home, draw, away. And basically they put 50p on something like 20 or 30 games to win potentially a massive amount of money. But the likelihood of that coming through are astronomically low. Uh,
eh, yeah,
but what you're saying is literally going into the match and seeing, so I'm just gonna have a quick look. For example, I'm gonna look at Bournemouth, Man United. Actually, no, it's playing at the moment, so I'm gonna go look at Liverpool, Crystal Palace, right? And I'm gonna look at specials and see. No, okay. So Nathan, I'll give you one example, right? It says here Liverpool to win from behind is 6-1. Crystal Palace to win from behind is 29-1. That's one of those specials, but I would never touch.
yeah.
To miss a
That's
penalty. So these are kind of mental. Um, what is this one? Team performance. Under 85, 2.05. I don't know what that is. Team
Maybe the
performance.
average. Maybe the average.
Do you think? Uh,
Maybe. I don't know what that is.
yeah. So match tackles, match offsides, team shots on target. So you see what I'm from what I'm reading to you, these are not like what you're describing at all. So I'm trying to find anything that's kind of similar to what you just described to me. Asian lines. I don't know what this is. Asian. So my Asian handicap, Liverpool minus two is 2-1. So Crystal Palace +2 is 1.9. Okay, so this could be one where if Palace lose by a single goal, you win your money.
That sounds closer to what it is.
It is, yeah. That's interesting. But I don't know what I genuinely don't know why it's called Asian handicap. Odd. But none of these odds are enormous like you're describing to me. None. And I cannot select any
Yeah,
great ones.
like how you selected, like you felt like Roma was gonna beat Milan.
Yeah.
For
Yeah.
that, for that, most people wouldn't select the outright win. So
Mm,
if you're trying to, I'm sure the expected outcome for the game was for Milan to win by like one or something like that, or 1.5. And for all of us who actually understand the game, understand that De Rossi has Roma playing at a higher level.
hmm
So you would select Roma to actually win by 1.5 because you know Milan wasn't going to shut them out 2-0. So you're
hmm
essentially guaranteeing, depending on who the teams are playing, you're guaranteeing that you're going to get your money out of that match. And it's
mm.
going to stay at a high amount while taking less risk on Roma outright winning.
What I thought was
And
crazy,
even if the game were to draw 0-0, because Roma didn't lose, you still get all of your money.
right? What I thought was crazy was that Roma winning in the San Siro was 4-1, Nathan, which, as someone who said they could give us a difficult game, when you have a free bet, you might as well place it on that result.
Yeah.
So I just had a free bet and I thought, let's just have a go at that because I thought Lukaku would score. That's what the other free bet I put on, but it wasn't. But anyway, good, good. We still move on. As I said, we've got £48 remaining. We should take, if we take wins, it'll be a small win or a small loss. But this week doesn't hurt us. I think probably the interesting one, Nathan, would be the Roma return leg. That's where it gets a bit more interesting. Yeah. Um, yeah, we've got a little bit of research to do on your particular type of betting. I'm genuinely not sure if we can do that here. At least not with the bookmaker that I've chosen. So what I'm doing at the moment, Nathan, I'm using one betting account for our
Hmm.
charity. I'm not using any other betting account for our charity. So all the money in there. So at least I keep a track on that money. Because the other day, as I told you on the WhatsApp, I was playing. I got some free chips to play blackjack, and I won £50 just out of the blue. But that's a completely different account, unfortunately. I'd say, fortunately for me, unfortunately for our charities. But yeah, okay, no, Nathan, I think that's fair. Let's have a look at what the result is like. Good luck on your bets on Okafor and Milan to win clean. That's the good one. Is if Milan can win and shut them out, that would be great for both of us. We make a good
Yeah.
good amount of money there. All right. All right. So what's the next game? It's going to be Rome. Is it this week that we've got Roma straight away? We've
Yeah.
got the return
Yeah.
leg.
Straight away. Yep.
So I wonder if we can meet up to have that. If there's time for us to meet up to have that conversation and to put those bets. The other thing as well is obviously it's better to do it closer to the time because of the team sheets. We don't know about injuries or anything at the moment, so it's a bit early. If the game is next Thursday, which I'm guessing is next Thursday, right?
Yeah. Next Thursday.
Yeah, if the game is next Thursday, probably be best to try and have a conversation on Wednesday. See, Roma Milan, 8 o'clock on Thursday. Yeah, 8 p.m. my time. So we can either have a conversation on No, Thursday I can't. So Wednesday probably would be the best time, Nathan. But we'll have a conversation about that if you can make it or not, and we might put another one of these together for the Roma game. All right.
Yeah, sounds good to me. And I'll send you some more pictures. This is a different site that another friend uses.
Hmm.
Yeah, I don't think it's set up as neatly as the one that I like to use, but you pretty much get the same picture of how everything is like broken down and stuff. And some of the things like you can just put so little, depending on how many teams or how risky it is. You can put so little and come out with just like one of the tickets my friend put in. He had like 10 teams, which is like literally
Crazy.
impossible. If you hit 10
Yeah.
teams, you might as well go play the lottery.
Yeah.
But on this 10 team ticket, all he put was $5,
Yeah.
and that $5 was gonna come out to over 2,200 if he were to win it. So it's,
Okay.
he
Okay.
didn't get it, but it's
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah,
No.
depending on how you want to do it.
So probably what we'll do, Nathan, is we'll sit down, right? And what I'll do is a share screen, and we'll look through my betting website, so you can have a look at what there is, and then we can start to think about more complicated bets next time. All right.
Okay.
All right. So hang on, I'm going to end the stream for now.